things that I am really being called to do is to help, what do I want to say? To support those of you who are really finding alignment in this practice and bringing it forward in your own life, in your own practice, and maybe wanting to deepen your channel, your connection to it, to be able to share it outwardly in your own way. It feels like there is a need to deepen these conversations, from making it less two-dimensional this way, like where it's me speaking, and being more robust in learning, being more robust in our practice, being more robust in how we are receiving this information and sharing it outward. So for those of you who are hearing this, whenever you're hearing this, if that is something that is resonant with you and you're like, I feel that stirring as well, I think this is coming into the forefront. And I really, I feel like that it's emergent in a the word leadership is accurate, but our perception of what that means or has to look like is off kilter. And so it's really breathing that in a new way, breathing that in a more robust, more holistic, more refined way. And so I see that we have, those of you who are feeling really called to it, I will follow up with you, and I'll send you some information and some questions about this, because it really is like opening things in a whole new way. And it's also opening us to a new, I don't want to say new. I want to say to a whole new way of being. What has been, where our limits are, that we are literally working with that and opening to and expanding in our vibration, in our capacity, in our capability of what it is we can do. So if you are being called to deepen your own personal practice, your own connection with spirit, this is different than just opening your channel. This is like really, it's like not just opening, but both a commitment or a conviction that this is what you are opening yourself to be and do in the world, and the way will emerge. And if that is something that is calling up in you, that you are ready, your yes opens the door to the way. Your yes will open you up to inspiration. Your yes will do this. And so I'm feeling so clear about this. Like, my yes is here, and I'm like, I don't even know what the full invitation is, but I don't think we fully need to know. I think it is a matter of how are we going to work, that it will do more. And so it's there. The first piece is, I am going to be doing a class coming up in the next 4 weeks. I'm getting the date. I had something planned, and my husband has a couple things going on that I have to keep cognizant of. So what I'm thinking of is going to be a half day, and it's going to be called Opening Your Channel. And that may be kind of the catalyst to determine whether or not what this larger invitation would mean to you. So that will be a starting point. But there are those of you I know who are really, really like, there's something that's just like, yes, I whatever you're saying, because that's how I feel when I'm working with spirits, like, yes, and I'll figure the rest of it out later. And so just know that I'm creating space for this, creating space for us to be able to work and to bring ourselves into that alignment. And so I have everyone, and just know there's no right or wrong way. There is no, there start where you are and being honoring of yourself, because if you're not in that absolute full commitment, but you're in that I wanna learn and I wanna explore to determine if I'm there, that is good too. I mean, like, there's not a like, there's no right or wrong way to do this. I hope that makes sense. And what's really, really, really interesting, yesterday, one of the things that has been really, really coming through to me, and it came through again at the end of the meditation last night. So if you didn't get a chance to go and listen, I really recommend that you go and at least and listen to um, the message at the end of the meditation, because the work that we are doing, we do not have to be fully aware of the impact or the scale in which we are working for it to have the impact on the scale in which it is having. So I want you to understand that you don't have to be doing this for anyone. You don't have to be holding a larger intention for you to be in the vibration of allowing and surrendering the energy and the work into something greater than you can imagine. It's already happening. And here's the reference that I have for you, is that for example, let's take the universal law of, what am I thinking of? Um, as we think about abundance and we think about the law of attraction, okay? Do you need to know and understand the law of attraction in order to access it? Or is it always what is being accessed? Right? And your awareness of it is irrelevant. The only difference that awareness and knowledge and wisdom has is how you choose to engage with that law, but not whether or not the law is working. So this is very much the same vibration, the same understanding, the same context in which we are working with this practice, with the law of harmony that is awakening in our being, that is awakening in our consciousness. We don't have to understand that our breath is having an exponential impact on the consciousness of human beings for it to have that impact. It is. But the more that we awaken to it, the more that our being comes in vibrational uh, awareness of the impact, what happens is it doesn't get stronger. We become more aligned. Our energy, our thoughts, our vibration is more refined. But just because we're not there does not mean that we are not having the impact. Does that make sense to everybody? Are there any questions about that? Because that is such an important piece when we're talking about universal law, is that it's like sometimes people, like when we talk about the law of attraction, it's like when you put your mind to it, that's when it's working. No, it's always working. I love this phrase. We are either living our life by design or by default. And all that means, all that design is that we are engaged and putting our energy, our thoughts, our creative force to it. We are not just assuming there's a pen, we are actually picking the pen up and choosing how to use it. There is a pen, and the pen is writing. What we do in when we are designing is we pick it up and we are flowing it in the direction that we want. The pen is always working, and when we are allowing it to just be doing what it always does, that's a default way. It's a habit mind. Um it is unaware, right? And so as soon as we become aware, we're picking it up and we are deliberately moving the pen in the way in which it aligns with who we are, what we want, what we are creating, what we desire. Does that make sense? It is not about whether the pen is working or not. And how do we know whether or not we are working in alignment with our design, whether or not we are creating by design, is that we look at what the results are in our life. Are the results matching what we desire? Are the results there? If not, then we are in default thinking. We are back to our habits. We are back to deciding that it's already decided for us, right? That this is the way it is. That first I have to do this before I can experience this. We are directing. So this is very, very, very important. And so when I am talking about moving into this different alignment, a different conviction of your energy, it is being all into that. Being all into being awake and aware and choosing. And trust me, I will just tell you this, that it is a great idea, but the action and the alignment and the willingness and the surrender that comes behind it requires not just incremental surrender, but it is a full surrender. And it's not a surrender um, to anything other than your becoming, the flow of the divine in you and through you. And that can feel pretty daunting. So when I want to say it's not for the faint of heart, but that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. It's for everyone, but we need to be aware of really what is true in our willingness. Otherwise, what we're doing is we are not honoring where we are. We're expecting that we should be here, right? We're trying to be here, and this is where we are. So when we try to act from the place we think we should be, we're continually butting up against ourselves. We're continually in a fight and creating uh, resentment, fear, worry, doubt. But when we start from where we are and we honor that, when we start there, then everything is possible. We move faster, we move more clearly. I hope that makes sense as I'm talking about this, because I feel I'm feeling much more what is the word? Like the words are really precise today. Um, I'm feeling more convicted in my own service, more convicted in the clarity that I have about how I can serve you, how I can serve in the world. And in doing so, what does that mean? Oh, that means I have to be willing. I have to move into this. And is there fear and doubt more? Absolutely. Do I feel stretched beyond what I know and understand? Yes, I do. But I am willing. I am willing, and I know exactly where I am. I know exactly where I'm feeling limited, and I'm seeing it, and I'm opening. And so I share this because this practice really, we've talked about this over and over again, but it's not just the practice, but it is this experience of stillness that is sweeping across the world, that is the result of this virus and its impact and its quick spread that has caused us to put pause in places we never pause. It has caused us to create space in places there is never space. And what we are left with is our relationship with ourselves. What we are left with is actually finding out exactly where we are. Are we where we think we are? Are we in denial about where we are? Are we feeling all of our constructions? Are we seeing it? And then are we willing to be there in order to experience that which is emerging in us. Because as long as we are comparing ourselves to where we think we should be, we we are continually fighting like this, where it's like shadow boxing. We're never really making progress. We're fighting something that doesn't yet exist, and we are getting no satisfaction in our life. And so it's a lot of effort and not a lot of impact. And so I think the invitation is to stay in this practice, to stay with ourselves, to stay and honor what is emerging in us, so that when we can honor this experience, when we can be fully present to ourselves with love, kindness, softness, gentleness, then we are more willing to step out into the unknown, to step more fully into our knowing. And what I'm talking about here, we in this initial class that I'm doing, on opening your vessel, and not opening your vessel, opening your channel, it's like clearing yourself out, being where you are, and not just what it is, but we are going to be practicing exactly how to do that. Does that hopefully that resonates with everyone. I will tell you today, I feel a little blind because I can't see everyone in your comments. It's very, very funny to me that this is how the new Facebook streaming thing is working, and it's a little frustrating for me. But I love you. Hi, you guys. If I haven't said hello, let me know. Kathy, another piece to go back and listen to. Yes, and I agree. What we're speaking about today is really moving into kind of this, now that we are acclimating, is really moving into the beingness and expansion, how navigating this third dimensional reality from a fifth dimensional vibration, right? How do we do that? How do we do that? and and we can either do it in the way that we've always done it, or we can really bring some design into it. We can really bring some practice and new ways of being that really help us move more quickly, move in greater alignment, and move in greater expansion. I got to tell you, I like the thought of doing this excites me to no end. So right now, the only thing between me and posting something to get you guys signed up for it is really I'm just finalizing some dates with my husband today. So I've got all the content, I've got the outline, I've got things ready to go. And so look for that, and I'll make an announcement tomorrow, and I'll let you know what the date is looking like. But I love you. It looks like it'll be a Saturday, most likely. So exactly. So let's go ahead and breathe. Let's open up to this today. And I'm going to have some water because I just did a ton of talking. And I'm going to put up my banner that lets people know if they're joining late that we are meditating. All right. Let's go ahead and let's just take a couple of deep breaths. Coming into this now moment. Opening and being fully present. Taking a couple of deep breaths, and as we breathe in, let's breathe in appreciation for this body, this vessel. Is open and receiving, vibrating in the light of spirit, vibrating in wholeness. With every breath, we feel our body opening because it is nourished and it knows, it is attuned that there is plenty. And with every breath, we open wide to receive all of the love, all of the light. It flows in and through us, every atom, every microscopic particle vibrating in the light of love and Christ consciousness, receiving nourishment, receiving and vibrating in this love. And as we breathe in behind our thoughts, behind our emotions, behind the stories, and we just calmly rest in this quiet center of who we are. We rest in our knowing, our wisdom, the love of spirit, the love of the mother rising up, holding us, nourishing us. We're fully present to this now moment. We bring our attention outward to our energy vessel, this energy that surrounds us and moves in and with us, moving in and out of every cell, moving in between every cell, moving between our thoughts, between the energetic pulses that tell our body what to do. We vibrate in this very infinite experience. This vibration of love is ever present in our vessel, and it raises our awareness, our vibration, our consciousness until it is resonant with the Christ consciousness, with divine love, with the infinite. And we feel this in our being. Every cell of our body nourished and full and willing to function in its highest capacity. We are optimal and optimized. Our body opening and also clearing that which is not functioning, that which prevents us from being in this optimized flow. Debris, clutter, fear, worry, heaviness, karma, stories, all of it. We release easily and effortlessly, as easily as we exhale. Our vibration is inhospitable to that which is not in resonance with our vibration. And we release our vibration, making it easier. We open and we release. And we feel our energetic field around our physical body vibrating gently and consistently in this vibration of love. And our field is open and porous and willing to receive and share. As easily as we breathe into our lungs, we breathe in the vibration of life through our vessel, into us and through us, moving in and through every cell. All that is resonant moves easily, and that which is not, we do not experience. And we expand in our willingness. We expand in our ability to open, in our capacity to receive and share light, in our attunement to abundance. And we vibrate in this. We feel our connection to the Mother so powerful and clear rising up from beneath our feet. The love that moves up through the cord from Mother Earth, giving us place, giving us home, rises up into our consciousness, rises up in our energetic field. That we feel this love in every part of our being, our sense of place, our longing for validation, for confirmation is satisfied with every breath as we feel that we belong. Our belonging resonates in every part of our experience. It shapes our thinking, our emotions, our relationships. We are here. We are home. We are. And it is from here that we bring our attention up above our head to our connection with the quantum field. Open, receiving, always receiving. We are resonant with the energies that flow into our vessel. We are resonant in the divine love and the infinite field of possibility, the infinite field of love. We feel this flowing into our being. Crystalline white energy moving in and out and through us. It is refreshing and expanding like peppermint. It opens us. Every breath expanding us. Every breath expanding us inward, outward, in all directions. In this now moment, we are everywhere present. Our light expanding, resonating, shining like a beacon awakening those who are longing to breathe, who are looking and seeking hope. We breathe, we breathe, and we breathe in and through and with the collective human consciousness, all of humanity breathing and expanding with our breath. And as we breathe easily and fully, we are teaching ourselves to breathe, and we are teaching the collective to breathe again. As we surrender to abundance, our fears and doubts and worries move out of our consciousness. allowing us to breathe more fully, more expanded, and others too begin to breathe in this way. And we breathe. Our breath is our connection to all of life, to all of human consciousness, to ourselves and to the divine. Every breath we breathe and we experience truth. We experience wholeness and holiness that is our being, our way of being. And we breathe. We breathe into this body that has carried us through every moment of our lives. And as we breathe, it expands beyond the physical, beyond the energetic. We are expanded as the energy of love and the infinite move in and between the atoms that create us, that hold us, that form us. And it expands between the cells, creating space until we are everywhere. We feel ourselves moving in all directions, our light shining across time, across space. We are everywhere present, and we are here in this now moment. This body is infinite, every cell expanding, growing, growing into a world that expands and is next to another world, expanding, growing. We are interconnected and present and aware and awake. And our soul that resides within this expansion is like the sun. It shines in its truth, in its wholeness and holiness, vibrating, whole and complete. And this soul is shaping our mind, our heart, our thoughts, our emotions, our experiences, our way of being. And we breathe in this expanded experience. We feel that we are breathed. There is a rhythm, a gentle push and pull, a flow in and a flow out. That we feel with every breath, feeling ourselves being breathed by the infinite, feeling each other in this rhythm as we merge with all of human consciousness, as we merge with all of life, with all of the expressions we have been. We are here now, whole and complete and resonant. And we breathe. And as we breathe, our breath is shared with the all. It expands and opens, allowing light to move in and through. the consciousness of humanity between the atoms, between the cells, between the neurons. The light emerges and awakens and enlivens the vessel, and we breathe, breathing in and breathing out in this expanded consciousness. We experience every atom, every cell breathing, connecting, expanding. And our experience in this, our feeling, our experience, our vibration is what is breathed into the collective, shaping, opening, expanding all of human thought, all of human experience into the field of godliness. And it is through our breath that we find our way to our own divinity, to our power, which is vibrating in every cell, awakening the truth of who we are, of our choices, of our beingness, of our willingness to be. These are the core of our power, what resides within us. Indeed has impact on the whole, and the harmony of our choices. We acclimate to what is good for ourselves, for each other, and for the world. We surrender to this way, to this knowing, to this desire for harmony in all things. And as we breathe in our vibration of love, of creation. That which breathed us into form moves in and through our being. It is our purpose. It is our function to move in alignment with this creation, to move in alignment from wholeness and harmony, allowing the love of creation to move in and through our vessel. We do all things in love, and we awaken to our wisdom that is in our deepest knowing, in our connection to the whole. We vibrate in truth. We feel this rise up in our being like Kundalini energy. It vibrates from our root to our crown, moving outward. When it is truth, we know we are resonant. We feel this move in our being, and we acclimate our mind, our thoughts, our being to seeking this truth as it moves and awakens in our vessel. And we vibrate in this knowing, whole and complete. And we breathe and we open ourselves to the collective, to all of humanity. We open and we breathe from a place of knowing, from a place of love, infinite love, boundless love, exponential love. that we have for all, for our brothers and sisters, for the children and the elderly, for those who came before us and those who have yet to come. We are awake to our wholeness. We feel it all and we breathe. We breathe with them, breathing that they may come to their breath, that their light stirs within them, their divinity activated in feeling this love move in and through their vessel. This gentle, loving way, like a mother rocking a babe, comforting her child, this love moves in and through us. This is the way. And we breathe in our willingness, in this love, in our knowing. And as we breathe, our light and the light that is breathed moves in and through the consciousness of humanity. All of the stories, all of the attempts to control, to manage, to create fear and doubt and worry begin to break apart, begin to lose their importance, begin to lose their certainty and value. And this debris which has created barrier to light, diffusing the light, is broken apart gently, awakening all to their divine knowing, to their harmony with each other, to their harmony with all that is. And we breathe, and we experience our own awakening. How much more aware we are in this now moment. How our breath has opened us beyond what was possible, beyond what we thought was necessary, to feel and be at one with the world around us. And we are renewed in this gentleness, renewed in what we have experienced. And we feel that our breath is enough. And we learn and expand in our learning to breathe. Every day more coming, more expansion, more light and clarity, that we see with new eyes, that we are vibrating in a new way of being, our cells enlivened, our mind, our emotions more clear, more crystal, that we recognize when our limitations arise in our being. And as we exhale, they release. Our need to attach, our need to be limited diminishes. We inhale light and we exhale debris. And every breath we become more in alignment with greater ease, greater knowing, and greater surrender. Our vessel more expanded to all of life around us. We feel all of life on this planet. As we breathe, we are expanded in our awareness. As we expand, we grow our energy field outward in all directions, deep into the earth, feeling the cracks and fissures as she undulates, moving, changing, adjusting, feeling the water rise and flow within the layers of earth, the animals who make their homes there, who churn and work the soil that it becomes more nutritious, more nourishing for that whose roots grow and expand upward to the sun, reaching and growing, creating beauty and atmosphere for those who walk upon the earth, those who fly above the earth. We are all one, all in our function, working together, feeling our connection, our oneness not just with humanity, but life, nature, function. We feel this awaken and enliven in our vessel, our willingness to be a part of, to be with, to choose differently, that we may create harmony in all that we do. Not from fear, but from knowing, from feeling what is life and that life will always emerge, and that we choose to be in alignment with this, to be open to inspiration, connection, and vibration with nature. And we choose that which is in alignment with good. And we expand and feel our love grow, feel our vibration align, all around the planet. And it is in this knowing that we experience our wholeness. Every breath we are enlightened, enlivened, awake, aware, whole and holy. We breathe light that others may find their own light. We breathe and we share, every breath expanding outward, nourishing us, and there's plenty for all. We shine in our willingness. We are a part of the whole, and we are a part of what is waking up. And in this we come to know who we are. We come to know that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am. I am. I am. I am. Beloved breathers of light, it may not always be intuitive to say that I am. As you expand into oneness, how is it that you are? How is it that you matter, and yet you matter? You are choosing in your I am, your function, your divinity. It is saying, I am the way for the light. I am the way of creation. I am the breath, and it is in my I am that I experience willingness and surrender to my I am. Your purpose is not in your doing, but in your being, your vessel, dear ones. Allowing the light to move in and through and expand and vibrate. And as you do this, you are changed in every breath. You are opened in every breath. And the mind that says, but what shall I do? How shall I do it? This is not the truth of you, dear one. It is not about your doingness. It is not about your doingness. But when you are clear on who you are, your being, your doing only needs to be joyful. Choose what brings you joy. Choose the service, the way in which you spend your time and energy with others, with yourself, that is resonant with joy. For this is your true nature, one who is infinite, one who has access and clarity in their infinite nature, in their access to all that is not wondering what must be done now. Instead is saying, how may I do this in joy? How may I find that which I spend my time that brings me joy and delight in the world? And we will be working with many of you in how to do this, how to be in this vibration of abundance and to be in the beingness of you in a world that is so focused on doing. Is there a way? Indeed, you have asked the question, and the way is emerging. And it will be in harmony with that which you have been breathing. Abundance, harmony, joy, dear ones, wholeness. Where is there room now for diminishment? And if you are experiencing blocks, if you are experiencing that which is not resonant, so be it. Do not judge yourselves. Do not berate yourselves. Be with it. See then what emerges. See what is ready to come up, to be seen, to be known. That you may be willing to surrender. That you may be willing to find something new emerging in you. This is the way. This is the way. This is the way. The breath continues in spite of your story, you breathe, dear ones. In spite of your feelings, you breathe. In spite of your thoughts, you are breathing. You see how this is the way. As you breathe on, as you acclimate to this, as you continue in your practice, your thoughts about your thoughts change. Your emotions about your emotions change. Your way of being is adjusting, and you can no longer see yourself be who you thought you were in the same way. What emerges is gentleness, is grace, is divine love, and access and desire to be nourished, to trust that which you are experiencing And this, dear ones, is the surrender. And you may say, I am not yet ready, so be it. You will breathe yourself into readiness the way we breathed you into this experience. This is the way. This is the way, dear. We love and honor you, we bless you, and we hold you in the gentleness of spirit, the gentleness of your divinity, the gentleness of the love of the mother that rises up in your being, giving you home, giving you place, helping you to remember how beloved you truly are. I am feeling very, at the end of that, I felt like I was merging with this love, and it was like being a child and having my forehead or the top of my head kissed, and yet it was like being merged into that energy, like it was coming, the kiss was in me, and the hands that were holding my face with such tenderness, just like it was both outside, it was everywhere, just this most beautiful experience and expression. And mm, I think there's such a we are opening and continuing to open. And sometimes it's very human to want to get it. I'm going to say it this way, to want to have it. That we seek the it, the experience, and we kind of land there and we go, this is it. And that is part of this very third dimensional consciousness, is that there is something to be gotten that is solid and firm. And instead, the practice is to receive and to also be willing to let it go in the exact same breath, to receive the inspiration and to let it go, and to trust that that which we need to know, we just know. There's no grasping or holding. And the more we come to this, the more we are opening to this experience, to what it is, to the way, I'm using their words, to the way of being that allows us to hold the vibration of this fifth dimensional experience and to be also here and living and doing what needs to happen in our day to day.